Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the shop. If you can hear a slight noise, it's because I'm raising up another car. On this one, we're going to be doing a clutch job. And unlike any other cars that I had before, this is a different one. This is my brother's car. This is an e39 M5. So really quickly, I understand this car is new to the channel, but this thing has over 220,000 miles. It does retain a clean title, and that's pretty much all you need to know about that. So that's why we're doing a clutch job, because I'm pretty sure the clutch has only been changed once. So let's get started. So I don't know how well you can see under the car, but I already managed to take off the drive shafts, the heat shields, the exhaust. That was a pain in the butt to take off. This thing had to be unbolted from these 4 bolts right here. There was 4 over here, 4 over there, and they were rusted to crap. Like those were impossible to take off. So the next bolts were all over here. I'm not sure how much there was over here. I think 12, but we got those off. So now we're continuing on forward, and I'm already starting to take off the transmission bolts. I'm not sure how you can see that, but I'll try to think of a lighting solution so it'd be better. So like I mentioned earlier, these things were rusted to crap, and you can tell right here, this whole thing is just, it's all rusted. So basically these bolts, they're all stuck in there because I think they have like these little grooves on them on the side, or like these teeth, and that's what's not allowing the bolts to exit the, whatever this thing is called. But for now, I'm gonna be drilling out the holes over here, and I'm gonna just probably buy some advanced auto parts bolts, put everything back on. And I mean, it's just bolts on the exhaust. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a difference, so that's what I'm doing as of right now. I got all the bolts unbolted, all the bolts are out. I think there's 2 missing at the top, so I'm not sure, because I only took out I think 9 of them. I also got the slave cylinder removed. The slave cylinder is very sloppy, you're gonna need to change that out as well. And I got this part removed. Surprisingly not that hard to remove on the E39. E36s, I don't know, I'd be spending like 10-15 minutes with it. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but that's removed real quickly. So after making sure that all the wires were disconnected, everything's good. We're ready to pull down the transmission. You can even see that it's disconnected right here already. So we're getting ready to drop this sucker. So we got the transmission down, and at a first glance, everything here is shot. After 220,000 miles, all of these are just completely worn out. Everything's done. This thing just completely slides off. Maybe that's why it was so easy to take it out. Inside, the throw bearing doesn't appear too bad, but also toast. Got the new one right here. Everything's looking good. So we got to put that in there. And here's the transmission. I mean the engine. This is how everything looks. Everything's very worn. Everything's toasty. I'm not sure how true this is, but when your clutch is worn out, these springs are supposed to decompress. And when you take off the transmission, it means that the clutch is fully worn. So right here I have a Luke or a Luck clutch, and as you can tell by this back plate right here, you can tell the springs are completely compressed. So exactly what I just said is true. That means that whenever the clutch wears out, these springs fully decompress, and that's a sign that it's a bad clutch. So you can see the whole clutch is toasted, it's gone. There's no clutch material left. It's like just barely, just enough to drive barely. This thing is all warped. Has a whole bunch of spots on it. We got the loop clutch, and they always have some sort of weird word, and I'm not sure how to say this one, but usually what this means is that this goes to the side of the transmission. So you would put it down like this, and then you would connect the alignment tool from the back and push the whole assembly back in. So right now I'm putting all of these back on, all these bolts to hold in the pressure plate, and for now I'm just kind of putting them on so it holds it. When you're first putting it on, it doesn't matter, but after you start tightening them, it's very important that you have the correct pressure on the bolts. So you need a special tool, and you need to align it in a special pattern, and that's a star pattern. With the clutch kit, we got this little bushing in here, so everything's sitting nicely, everything's oiled up, so everything moves nice. There's no movement here anymore. This one, unfortunately, we did not have, so we didn't put this one on, but I think that's going to be in the future. This plastic piece just crumbled out as soon as we took it out, so it was a good thing we changed it, because the stick shift felt a little wobbly, a little weird, so it's a good thing that we just changed it out. So proud of that. Got new transmission mounts as well. Those are all bolted up. You got the new pilot bearing in, got the clutch in, everything's sitting perfectly. So just about ready to put everything right back on. So I'm gonna get to it right now, and I'm thinking about give or take an hour and we should be done. So the clutch comes with this little alignment tool, and it's usually aligned like this. And if you're doing an M5 swap or a 540i swap, then you should have a little piece sticking up from this end, and the clutch is gonna be moving around a little bit. So basically, once you take this out, it's gonna let these little pieces slide out, and it's gonna push the clutch inside, so it's gonna stop moving. So you're not doing anything wrong. If everything's bolted up, everything's fine. You just gotta push this out to the side, it's gonna jump, and the clutch is gonna sit dead in. So if you can't tell, we're already starting to put on the exhaust. Got the drive shaft secured in, the heat shield, exhaust is all in. We just have to screw in a few places. Here are the new bolts, like I said earlier. This should hold them a lot better. So yeah, basically done. It took us about, I think, 6, almost 7 hours. I'd say that's pretty good. So we're about to finish up over here, the exhaust, put on the sensors, and we're ready to go. All right, and we're done. It's 10 o'clock, everything's done, everything's bolted back up. 7 hours exactly this took to do. 7 hours, not bad for a new clutch. All right, so we're about to put her down, fire it up, and let's see. All right, so now that the car's on the ground, there's only one more thing left to do. That is to put the battery in and fire it up. All right, we have light. Gotta tighten these down and start it. Alright, so that's the end of our project for today. I'm yet again dirty because you can't do these jobs clean, and unfortunately I did come in the E36, the white one, the clean one, so I'm gonna have to wash up real quickly and then I'm gonna start getting home. Quickly washed up so the M3 doesn't get too dirty. And I was able to locate where my angel eyes were, so I plugged those in, so that looks like a beast now. But as for now, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for another video. Subscribe, comment, and like. Bye-bye.